So this International Women's Day, we're celebrating inspirational women across the world who work in the transport industry and who continually go above and beyond to keep the transport sector moving safely. And in keeping with this year's theme, Break the Bias, we are championing women who advocate for a world that is diverse, fair and inclusive. So joining me today is Fiona McDonagh, Membership Services Manager at Transporting New Zealand, a forum that represents 1,200 individual road freight transport companies, which operate 14,000 heavy trucks across New Zealand. Fiona is passionate about putting the focus back on those behind the wheels in our industry and works alongside others to improve the wellbeing and workplace culture in the transport sector in New Zealand. Thanks for joining me today, Fiona.
You're welcome.
The first question is, Fiona, you are currently the Membership Services Manager at Transporting New Zealand. Can you tell us a little bit about your role and how you've gotten to this point in your career?
So the role that I just started with is really primarily focusing on the support and the services we can offer our membership throughout Ia Ara, Aotearoa, Transporting New Zealand. So it's combining things that our partners offer as services and discounts and making sure that that's the optimum for our members. I also oversee the Ia Ara Road to Success Driver Traineeship Program, which is really exciting and a role that I love. And that's a pathway into employment and development of a career for new entrants into the industry. Before I came into Transporting New Zealand, my career started just a few years ago. I was in retail. That was my career of choice at the time. Then my second daughter was born and I needed a way out of late nights, weekends and public holiday work. So I answered an advert in our local Hamilton paper for receptionist work at a bulk transport company. I applied there and 16 years later, after having worked in many of the areas of their business, they underwent a restructure and it was time for me to look at what comes next. So that involved a move to Wellington, and then I was approached by the CEO of Transporting New Zealand, Nick Leggett, to head up and manage the traineeship, the Road to Success Driver Traineeship project. Which was just great. It was my dream job, really. It was helping to get awesome people into an awesome industry. So wow. That was sort of what led me to here.
Wow, that's incredible. Was the transport industry always a sector that appealed to you?
No, I'd never really given it any thought, to be honest. I hadn't paid too much attention to trucks on the road or thought that it was an industry that I would enter. I didn't grow up on a farm or know anybody who was a truck driver, but the opportunity presented itself, and once I was in, I was hooked. It was, it's sort of, you get the bug, and the people in it just drew me in, and I could see huge potential as well. And it was at a time when we were on the cusp of some changes here in New Zealand with employment thinking and women moving into different industries. So it was really exciting.
Yeah, that's great. We always start somewhere first.
Mm-hmm.
So now, having been in the sector for a few number of years, what's your favourite aspect of working in transport?
Most definitely the people. The people behind the wheels, so the drivers out on the road, but also the amazing people that keep these trucks rolling, the logistics, the planning, the driver training, all that sort of thing. I love, I've met and worked with some amazing people along the way and learnt something from each and every one of them. It's really exciting being part of a supply chain that keeps New Zealand moving. That's, knowing that we're a vital part of the economy and indeed, all these aspects of life here. If you eat it or sit on it or watch it or wear it, it's travelled in a truck. And over the last couple of years with COVID, it's highlighted just how amazing our workforce is and how essential truck drivers are. Knowing that we can provide opportunities to bring people in and give people a career option when their chosen path has been sideswiped by this crazy pandemic, has been really awesome, and Road to Success does that really well. So with 93% of all product move around New Zealand on the back of trucks, why not become a truck driver? It's certainly a sustainable career, and it's one of the areas that I love is introducing people to all of the many options, many ways to build a career within the industry, and helping our members and our operators grow and thrive by bringing on new people. So, and it's still a buzz when I see a woman behind the wheel of one of the bigger rigs out on the road. It always brings a smile, and I know that that's happening more and more often, which is terrific.
Yeah, I agree. It's great to hear what a positive experience has been for you. So, what do you personally think it means to have more women in the industry in what's traditionally been a very male-dominated environment?
For me, it means progression. It means that we've opened another avenue for women to explore a career doing what they love, whether that's behind the wheel, in an operational space, or even under the bonnet. This is an industry that's got so many opportunities, and the guys are realizing that having a woman on the team lifts everyone, and it provides a balance in the workplace. We bring skills and experiences to the roles, that are in a way that gives us a different perspective, a different way to look at problem solving, a different attitude, a different way of addressing the situation, and contributing to the team as a whole. While it's a very traditional space, we are making real inroads, and it's exciting to see more and more women coming into the roles that are primarily been done by men. Just on that, the Road to Success traineeship is we're really excited. It was opening doors for women to come in, and now 40% of our trainees are female in the program. So in an industry where we were battling to maintain 4% or get that above, the new entrants coming in are certainly well above that, which is really exciting to see. And I'm still hopeful that one day our industry, having women in our industry, will just be a part of the norm. There won't be any need to differentiate between female drivers and male drivers. There'll be professional drivers, and they'll be recognised as the norm. So,
yeah, wow, it's so important for these programs to exist, especially in the industry.
Absolutely. Opening doors is what we call it. It's an opportunity to step in, and once you're through the door, as we know, sometimes it's the introductions that get made that offer the opportunities from there to grow. So we're about the pathway, and it's really exciting.
Yeah, well said. So the next question is, what would you say to other women who are considering a career in the transport industry? What advice would you give them?
I had to think about this one, because there's so much, so many things. But I think the key thing for me is don't change who you are. Don't fall into the trap that you have to be one of the boys to work with the boys. Have confidence in the skills and the ability that you bring, and stay true to yourself. Be open to learning. Listen to those who want to teach, and identify people within the businesses that you're working in who are doing it right, and get to know them, work alongside them, and ask for help when you need it. The other thing, don't try and make out what you don't know, and can do what you can't do. Put your hand up, ask, and everybody will jump in and help and give you all the help you need. I guess the other thing would be to make sure that you've got a really, really awesome support network around you. Surround yourself with really strong women who understand the pressures of not only this environment, but just the life in general, the balance that we struggle to achieve in all of the industries across the world. And with COVID, that's thrown another balance into the mix that we have to look after things. So being able to have a network of women that you can, vent to, that you can rage at, you can cry with, you can celebrate with, all of those things, and share and draw on their strength helps us maintain a mental well-being and be able to just cope with the daily challenges that working in a man's environment can sometimes bring. So the support networks are huge.
Yeah, mental health is really important. I know we
It
were
is.
promoting it last year as well, especially with the pandemic. So
Yes.
I
Yeah.
know truck drivers, especially women, would have struggled on the roads.
Yeah.
So yeah,
It can be a
definitely.
very, very solo career. A lot
Yeah.
of time spent with yourself and your music. I'm a big believer in having those connections that a quick message through the day or a quick phone call at lunchtime and things like that, just to let you know that you're not on your own. We're working really hard within our industry to make sure that our operators, our members are aware of the real need to make sure that the mental health and well-being of their drivers is top priority, and the support networks and networking with each other, not only in the industry but outside as well, and just making sure that you've got people that are there to catch you and sort of prop you up when you need it. So it's really important.
Yeah, that's great. So finally, are there any mentors in your life or women who have inspired you to work in the transport sector or in general?
As I said, I've met some amazing people, some fabulous women out there just getting it done. I've, Maren Morrison, who I worked with Women in Road Transport, and worked with her with the company that I was working for. I learned a lot from her. She was amazing, and we worked together to bring women in transport together. And also, we became friends, and we still share a passion for the people in this industry. But actually it's not somebody within the industry who inspires and motivates me. I'm very, very lucky. I have a best friend who is amazing. She motivates and is my biggest supporter. But she holds a job. She's the head of a trade union here in New Zealand and is understanding of the challenges and the difficulties faced by a woman in a man's world. And she's just she battles and succeeded on a daily basis with the male thinking for years, but she holds herself with such confidence and is driven by a need to treat everyone as equals and fight for those who can't fight for themselves. She's held in high esteem by both those that she leads and those who she challenges and holds to account, and I learn a lot from her. So she's there for me to brainstorm ideas with, keeps me real and grounded, and just generally fills my cup when it starts to run low. So she inspires and lifts me.
Wow, that's amazing. Thanks for sharing that.
You're
So thank
welcome.
you for your time, Fiona, and for all the hard work you put in creating inclusive transport sector across New Zealand. And congratulations from all of us at Teletrack Navmen.
Thank you so much, and happy International Women's Day.
Thank you.